Hi, this is Juan Méndez, and you're listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast.
My name is Ian Taylor, and welcome to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast, brought to you by the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We're an awesome community of card collectors and creators, so come join us. With me is my co-pilot in all things Marvel Cards. He is one of the collective. We are the Epax Borg. Resistance is futile. We are all knowing rad.
Yes. Star Trek reference.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Because let's get into it straight away. And spoilers. So we didn't say we were going to talk about this, but it's just a natural thing to talk about.
Happened.
Picard, have you finished?
I haven't.
Oh.
I haven't. Things been crazy, but I am going to watch it. I was giving Westworld a chance. Feeling okay about Westworld, but Picard, I am ready. It is free. I need to stream. That is probably happening today or tomorrow.
Okay.
For sure it's happening. I just haven't. I slipped my mind.
That's absolutely fine. So when you've done that, we've got to talk about it.
I'm so excited.
Did you get up to?
Episode 2 or 3. He got the team together. Oh. I know about the twin. She's on.
Oh yes,
the other,
yes.
Right,
yes,
it's very early, so you see a lot more. So yeah, it's very early. So maybe 2-3 episodes. He already went to. I'm not spoiling anything. I won't spoil anything.
No. Okay. Good. Jean-Luc who?
What?
Huh?
He owns a vineyard, from what I hear. I don't know. Everything else, I think, is just made up.
I'm sure you can probably buy a wine that's got a label.
Oh, yeah.
That's a really nice wine.
There's probably some really cool props, with the Picard label on it, like from the movies and stuff like that.
Oh,
yeah.
Like that. Wouldn't you like that?
Actually, I'm part of a really cool Marvel prop group. I'm going to send you the link. Off topic, but I'll send you the link. It's really cool.
Yeah. Please do. So this, after hot on the heels of our first video episode last week, which looked really good. So thank you for all your
thank you.
All your hard work on that. This will be another one, and this is actually for those who are just listening to us. We'll try and kind of relay what we're talking about as much as possible. This episode really will best work as a video episode for you to watch, because we are going to revisit Epax after our Epax 101 episode that we did.
Yes.
Good 3-4 months ago now.
Has it been that long? Wow.
Yeah, it's before Christmas.
Wow.
It was last year. And we are going to talk about Epax. We're going to do Epax 101 Part 2. Because last time we talked about kind of what Epax was and the concept of it, and we talked a little bit about how to do stuff, which is great. But without the video, it's kind of difficult to do because the user interface is pretty busy.
It is busy. That's a good word for it.
So I have, for this episode, I've reached out to a couple of people who I know are newbies to Epax and who've shared a few frustrations with us.
Yeah.
So in no particular order, thank you to Jalen Warner, Kevin St. Jack, a.k.a. Kevin number 1. Robert Baker, who is a lovely bloke.
Yes.
Deeply enthusiastic about kind of everything card related, and he's the guy that did that very kind giveaway sketch.
What a nice guy.
A couple of weeks back to
what a nice sketch too, man.
Yeah, he gave away a Venom sketch. So for those who don't know, Robert or Rob, I'll call you Robert because I don't know if you like it shortened. That's me being quite restrained, actually. Normally by now I'd be calling him Steve. Steve.
I don't even know how we got on that, but I love it.
I don't. We are all Steves. We are the Steve. Prepare to be assimilated. He did a giveaway on the group of a Venom sketch, completely off his own back, and basically said that he would give it away to anyone who wanted to, as long as they liked and shared our podcast Facebook page. It was a really, really kind thing for him to do. And 10 people entered and one person won. 10 men enter, 1 man wins. He mailed them the sketch all the way to Australia, I believe it went. Very, very happy winner of that. Which reminds me, we have some swag that we need to do something with from our good friend Fred Galvin.
Who's the
Marvel
man?
Madness. Fred, if you're listening, apologies for not having done that yet. With all the craziness, it kind of got a little bit forgotten. So we will get on that, and we're going to do a giveaway, possibly on Instagram. Not sure.
Yeah.
I think Instagram
might be good
to do it because it'll enable us to tag you and show off a good portion of your swag.
Yes.
Because Fred does an awful lot of business at cons, and of course that is not happening at the moment. So
just really imaginative and really smart, and does such great work. Really, really creative guy.
Yeah, he basically makes his own Marvel cards, Marvel bookmarks, Marvel pencil cases, Marvel everything.
It's fun. It's like it's reminiscent of the 90s stuff that was just everywhere back in the day. It's really fun to see that.
Really cool.
It is really cool. It's really cool. Different effects, holograms, different really cool things that he does there.
Holograms.
I know. He showed me how he did it. It's crazy.
Well, he's put videos on Instagram of how he does them.
I know. He wants to do some of the posters that we have from the group and stuff like that too, which would be fun. Yeah, I know. So that'd be really cool. But he's great, man. Does awesome stuff.
Well, we're going to talk more about Fred.
Yes.
When we get our collective shizzle together and do that. So I'm going to apply some lipstick.
Ooh.
Mwah. Beautiful. Because I hate drying up mid-flow. And then we are going to share the screen.
What does that mean?
I've no idea.
I love it.
Move on. Keep going.
I'm just moving on.
They'll not notice. So I'm going to share my screen now. So it means you will see us in a tiny little corner of the screen somewhere. There we are.
I'm so tiny.
Hello. You are. I'm going to move us actually so we're down here. There we go. Right. So I am on the EPAC homepage, which is what you see when you go onto it. Marvelous. Hopefully this will move in a minute, but I love the artwork things that they do for their website.
Yeah, the banners, they're really nice.
I actually save them because they're really cool, but they do them.
It's like a sell sheet.
Yeah, but they do a format for for social media as well, which is kind of more of a square kind of thing as opposed to this
I've seen that where like some of the cards are missing and rearranged.
Yeah, so I tend to grab them because they're quite handy because, let's face it, we do a lot of free PR for them and help them, push these sets out. So I tend to grab the assets off their site and off their feeds. I think it's great. And then share them. So thank you, Ian, and thank you, Norin, for doing that. That's quite all right, Upper That's
so sweet.
You're more than welcome. Anytime is a such. If you feel like
what a gem.
Some free cards into our EPAC account, then please do. Anyway, this why would they not want to give us free cards?
They would want to.
They would. You will give us free cards. You will give us free cards. Okay, so we're on EPAC. The whole Borg thing is taking over my brain today. So
I know. Threw a Star Wars reference, but yes. Hockey.
Sorry,
which we don't talk about.
That's fine.
No, you didn't. Yeah, I know.
Marvel Premiere. I just love the different styles on that banner. I just really
look at that Ballard too, man. Cool. Crazy good stuff.
Anyhow, we're not here to just look at their homepage. So I've got a list of things that I'm going to look at, and we're going to go through a lot of stuff that will be to those. I guess it's like learning to drive a car. If you know, you know, and a lot of what we're going to talk about is going to be fairly easy. But the thing is, with a lot of people who come to the group, they're going, "Oh, what's EPAC? Why would you spend money on digital cards?" So I'm going to reiterate this now. Pretty much all of the stuff that you get on EPACs is a physical card that you can have mailed to you. The digital cards that are on there, which are the minority, only exist as a stepping stone for you to combine them to get a physical card. So EPAC is a distribution platform and a trading platform for physical cards. Digital cards are in there as part of the process of obtaining some of the physical cards. So I think it's important to say that it's not like the Topps Trader app where all the cards exist as digital cards. They will never be physical cards,
right?
And they stay within that ecosystem.
I mean, it's a reasonable confusion. I mean, especially since Topps does it, and I'm sure some people over there do that.
Successful, yeah,
incredibly successful for only being digital cards. I'm really shocked.
Yeah.
Personally, I would never do digital cards ever, just because it's not something I would want to do because I like the physicality, and we've talked about this in other episodes.
Yeah.
But you need to understand I mean, I think the biggest benefit, and not to jump, I think the biggest benefit of ePack is the simple fact that you know what everybody gets, and you can find the cards you want to find in one space. Because unfortunately, the cards are so limited now that trading can't be like we did back in the day where we go to our friend's house and we kind of swap. Especially now trading is worldwide and digital, with physical cards, but digital trading.
Yep. Exactly. And especially now, you can't go around to your friend's house because of
social distancing.
So, but we can still trade. So
we can still trade.
Yeah, there's a plus and a bonus, and you can still buy cards without having to go to the store.
True.
In like a hazmat suit. So, so when you're on, in no particular order, so I'm just going to go through the nav just to quickly refresh ourselves. So you've got a couple of places. There's stuff at the top of the screen here: store, my collection, trading, my ePacks, achievements, news, search. That's all absolutely gorgeous, and that is on the desktop version. That stuff doesn't tend to appear on the mobile version, certainly not on the iPhone version. So what I'm going to focus on, while they're there and they're handy to look at and they're great, what I'm going to focus on is this little menu over here, which is viewed by the free kind of bars, which is exactly the same as it appears on the mobile version. So if you click on that, you've got a number of things here. I'm not going to look at pack walls right now. You've got my dashboard, news, store, my ePack, trading, search, trading, marketplace, achievements, community, account, checklists, and log out. Why would you want to do that? So we'll ignore that one. So I'm going to go to dashboard. I will say I very rarely use the dashboard because I'm kind of very au fait with using this, and you can access this from anywhere. And on mobile especially, this is your key to navigating the entire system. So, number of things to look at here. So, on my list, I'm going to go through these in no particular order, and we will kind of both chime in with our experiences of it. So, I guess the first thing is filtering and finding your way around the site. So, I think the easiest way to do this, if I go and look at my ePack and my collection. So, the first thing is you'll notice is that for all of these icons over here, these are all shortcuts to stuff that's in this menu. So you're kind of just looking at the same navigation, just in a different place.
Right.
So I'm going to go to my collection. It takes a while to load, so bear with us on this. Now, I guess the thing to think about with this is that when you look at it, this looks exactly the same on a mobile as it does on a desktop or a laptop browser like this. So you will have options to sort at the top here. I always have it default descending, but I can use default ascending if I want to, or any of these other things. I tend to use the top and the bottom one. The top one, because that's how it defaults to, so I'm used to that as my starting point. And what it does is it orders it by the most recent set first. Okay. When you go to date added descending, which is the bottom option there, if I click on that, it shows me the cards that I've most recently acquired, which is actually really useful for when you've just done a trade. And you quickly want to go and look at that card, and you might want to lock it so that someone doesn't, send you an offer on it, or you might want to quickly look and see if anyone wants that card or something.
And also, so people know, you can change this view. So Ian right now has a listing view, but you can also change it to a pictorial view where you can see the actual images of the card located in that icon there.
Which are these two toggle options here, just on the top?
Yes. Perfect. Yeah. So and locking things is key. So one of the great things about ePack etiquette is that if you get something and you're like, this is not going anywhere, or I don't even want to be tempted by a trade, we're just going to show you how to lock it. And that means that card can no longer be seen by the general public on ePack and can only be viewed by your eyes.
That's right. You can still do stuff with it. So you could still select it to offer it in a trade if you wanted to. But generally speaking, it takes it out of the viewable trading marketplace. The other interesting thing about these two views is that there are different options that only appear in one or other view. So you'll notice when I go back to the list view, which tends to be the default, you'll notice that when I click on a card, So if I click on this card, what it does is it opens it up. You can see I happen to have 4 of this card. And there's a little lock symbol just next to it. So if I lock it, straight away you see that a 1 appeared there. And this column is how many you've got locked. So this is how many you own. And this is how many you've got locked. So if I lock another one, you'll see that change to 2, 3, 4. And to unlock it, you simply click it again. So you can bulk lock and unlock stuff, but I don't tend to do that because it's really easy to accidentally unlock your whole collection.
Yeah. What I do, no, it's true. You really, I've done that. A really interesting thing too, which I'm sure Ian would talk about, is on your left-hand side, I believe, under your username, under ownership, you have unlocked items and locked items. That way, if you're looking to trade with somebody, you can kind of decide what part of your collection you want to look at. Yep. And if you're looking at just your PC, which is just short for a private collection, you're looking at your locked items. A good way to lock a lot of items really quickly, though, is to specify your fields, like your product, your attributes. Yep. So let's say you want to lock all your sketches. You go to product, you pick your product, you go to attribute, and you pick your sketch attribute. And then
you go here, let me show it as you're saying it. So Marvel Masterpieces, and then attributes. I see. This is interesting. You see, it's very interesting. There are different ways of doing this.
Yes. Yeah, there really is.
That is a short.
And then you just hit lock, and it will lock just those 2 cards, and then that's over.
That's interesting. Now they're actually, both of those are locked because they're Black Cat cards.
Black Cat
shipped to myself.
Ooh, I like that, Remy.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Let's just take a moment. It's nice, isn't it?
That looks really good. I like the red
style going on. Yeah, I like it.
I dig it. I really dig it.
We're just going to spend all our time looking at this. As with a lot of things, it's really the beauty of e-packs is there are 2 different ways you could have done that. So let me show you the other way, just as an example.
No, smart, because this is really the issue. Not an issue, but this is really the thing about e-pack, is that because there's so many options for people to do things, a lot of times people miss stuff or not notice things or whatever the case may be, and it's good to go over it.
Yeah, absolutely. The other good thing about this is that once you, which is why we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the navigation today. Once you suss the navigation, you're 90% of the way there.
Yeah, you really are, because then it just becomes quick hand and you figure everything out very fast.
Yeah, very fast. So there's 2 ways I could go back to where I started on this. I can do it the long way, so I can untick sketches. So if you click on it
like again, clicking the X.
Yeah. So actually, no, you just click on sketches again.
Really?
The X just shows you what you've got selected.
There it is.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like
I didn't know that.
If I click Marvel Masterpieces again, you'll see that my collection, there we go, it goes back up there, and all the products are then listed.
Interesting.
What the way you could have done that then? So you went through it by selecting Masterpieces and then going down to attribute and selecting sketches, which is just there. What I would have done is, if you a lot of time on it, it's not for all sets. The earlier sets they didn't do this, but most sets since, SKT is the shorthand for what appears in this first column, and you'll see there sketch. And then, I mean, I don't happen to have that many here. And in some cases, in some sets, so you'll notice there's nothing showing there from Flea Ultra Spider-Man 2017, which was when e-packs was fairly new. So this has been a thing that they brought in. And so since then, virtually every sketch card does have that numbering and identification. So you can find it that way. But I think your way is the foolproof thing. And then I could just select it.
No, I think that's great. Well, it actually brings up another point. So there is also a trick sometimes. Something you should know. Let's say you have an autograph card, right? And it's of a particular character. If the title of that card is not the particular character, you can't search for it.
Yeah.
So, for instance, you have the Jim, what auto is that?
Jim Starlin. That might
Jim
actually come
Starlin.
up as Jim Starlin, but
That's going to come up at Jim Starlin. Usually, from my experience, most of the ones that have an autograph will come up under the name of the person who signed it.
Yeah.
See, for instance, like the Jim Starlin Warlock, you could type in Warlock and get that card. But if you had typed in, if it didn't have Jim Starlin on, or if it didn't have Warlock on it, and you typed Warlock, it wouldn't show up. Mm-hmm. And I've seen users kind of like freak out, like, oh, where's my card? It's only because of the way they are titling these cards.
Yes, which they have now started to be more consistent with. But as with all things, this is programmed by humans. And so although they're sticking to rules, those rules have slightly changed depending on the set. Now, there's a number of ways you can get back to basics. Now, what I did earlier was I actually unclicked off what I had selected. But there's a really quick way of doing it, which is just click this button here, clear filters.
And done.
And it takes you back
to your full collection.
Now, I'm still viewing it date added descending, so I'm going to go back to the default view, which is descending. And what this does is it shows it to you in order of the product, so the set, most recent release. So, most recent release. And it also does that when you click on product here. So you'll see there, I haven't bought anything from anything released since 80th anniversary. So I haven't bought any Spider-Man Far From Home. I haven't bought any Marvel Weekly, because they would be the topmost product on that list. And
then you can also collapse the Marvel 80th anniversary base set. So if you go to the arrow, or just click on the blue, it'll collapse it, and you'll go to the next inserts from that same set, and then eventually you can get out of that set.
So here's a good example. So this one's only got one card in it. So you can see I'm collapsing it, opening it, collapsing it, opening it. So you can do that. So you can do that. And one of the questions was, I think from Kevin, is that if you've got a lot of cards like this and you want to find something, then it's actually, I know I can collapse it, but it actually takes me quite a while to look at it, which is why it's really good that you get the hang of this left-hand navigation, because you can straight away go to product and just go to the set you want to look at. So say I wanted to look at 2019 Marvel Weekly. And when I go to that, everything is unlocked because my set is somewhere else. I'll come back to that in a moment, because that's talking about how you can see locked, unlocked, and transfer items. So there's my Marvel Weekly cards that I have remaining for trade, and they're all unlocked from the 2019 set. So I could either click on that one, or I can click clear filters. So I'll click clear filters. So I'm going to go back to the view part up here. When you go to that, you remember I said that you can only do the lock part when you're here. So if I wanted to lock that name or card, for example.
Yes.
If I go to the kind of card view, in my head, I call this the poker view, because it's kind of, they're all laid out.
I like that. Okay.
So if you go here, you don't see the lock function, but you do see something else. And this is one of the little hidden things on e-packs. And I didn't discover this for the longest time.
Same.
How do I know, Norrin, what, if I've just pulled something, who's looking for that card?
Well, I don't know, Ian. Whoa. Tell me.
Excitement builds. See that little binoculars there?
I do. I see the binoculars.
Yeah. So when you hover over it, it says, see who wishlisted this, which it doesn't do on the mobile. So that's new to me. So if I click on that, what it will do is it will show me which users have that card on their wish list. So I can then look at each of these users and look at their collection and see if there's anything that they have that I need to then set up a trade.
Yep. Beautiful.
Now that's brilliant, but none of that
There's
works.
a second part to it.
There is a second part to it. They've got the cards on their wish list, but they might be wanting to do something similar with what they bought, and that only works if you put the cards on your wish list.
Yes.
So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I don't own this card, okay? but I want this card, or I want more copies of this card. The simplest way to add an item to your wish list is click the heart, and it's on my wish list. And if I unclick it, it's gone. And that you can do on both views. So if I go to the list view, click the heart, it's on my wish list. Take it off, it's off. There you go.
How do you view your whole wish list, Ian?
Well, let's have a look. So you can see my collection here. Now, there's a little red herring here, items on my wish list. So that comes up as an option because I've got 21 items in my collection that are on my wish list. That probably means that I need more copies of those particular cards, possibly because I have to combine a certain number of them to get a certain item. So this is one way you can do it, but it's not the best way you can do it. So I'm not going to go there. So,
oh, really?
No. Well, that just shows me what I own that's on my wish list.
Right. I go. Right. Okay. Right. I got you. I don't want to jump ahead.
So, yeah, there is a way you can do it on this menu, but what I'm going to do is take you back to this one because I think it's important people get familiar with this. So if you open up my e-pack, so where I am now on the left is my collection, which is the top one. You've got an option there called wish list. So if you click on that, it's no longer showing you your collection unless there's some items on your wish list that you already own. Okay, so you'll see here, items on my wish list. I've got 450 items on my wish list. I'm such a greedy man. Greedy. You'll see this, that I actually own 60 of those, which you think, oh, that might be a bit strange. So again, that goes back to
needing doubles or
needing
cards.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
All that kind of
as we saw on last week's episode, some cards you need 100 of.
Yes,
to redeem for a certain special card. So that wouldn't be unusual. But effectively speaking, if I wasn't Belay, which is my user, someone else can see this. So someone can go to my profile, and I'm going to show you somewhere else to find it. So you'll notice I'm in my wish list, and the navigation works exactly the same. So I can look at all the sets. You can even do it by year, although I never use that. Genre I do use because you'll notice Marvel is in there, and that's handy if you've got someone who's got a lot of sports cards in their collection.
Yeah, no kidding.
And there are guys who have hundreds of thousands of sports cards, but they might only have 3,000 Marvel cards, of which you want to see what they've got. So that's handy for that. So that's here. But if I wasn't me, I could go to my Belay there. It wouldn't show me all this, but if I was someone else, it would show me this wish list, and I could go into it that way. So that should take me back to where I was just now. There we go. That's my wish list. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what that looks like if you're looking at someone else's collection. Okay. So let me go back to my collection. My collection. We'll get there in the end. Okay, so there's my name or card, but I want to see who is looking for that card. So I go to Poker View, see who's looking at this. Right, I'm going to look at Muse. So this is another user. So when you click on their name, you don't see all of the stuff that you saw on your own view in their kind of user profile page, because obviously you're not them, so you can't see all the stuff, to control your account, to do all that. But what you can see is some very, very important options. Badges is just something to make people feel good about themselves, means nothing to anyone on ePack, so I wouldn't worry about that.
Not at all.
So you can see, you can view their collection. So it takes you to a view of their collection, very similar to my own. You can start a trade with them. You can message them, or you can look at their wish list. And this fella's keen. He's got a lot of cards, or this lady, or this non-gender specific person is keen. They've got 8,670 cards. When you open it, now this is where this view becomes a little bit cumbersome. So when I'm looking at someone's wish list or someone's collection, I always do it on this view because I find the pictures a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So there we go. So you can see that, which is fine, but I don't want to then scroll down through. And by the way, if you scroll on this, you'll always have this where like picks up the next part of the screen as you're scrolling.
Yep.
And it just takes a while.
Takes a
which
long
is
time.
why you can always do that, but it still does that. Or you can simply go over here. So this fella Muse, or lady, or non-gender specific, or prefer not to say, you can do a couple of things here. First of all, okay, this person has got almost 9,000 items on their wish list. How many items do I own? And then you can click on that. You can say, right, how many things that this person needs have
I love that part.
And you can just click on only items I own. It's still churning away here, so that's why hockey's still showing. There we go. So I've got 478 cards that Muse would like. And I could kind of strike up a trade with this person. Now, the one weakness to this is that you can't see here, okay, I own that many items, but because I'm looking at his wish list, I can't filter it to say how many of those are unlocked. So I might own 478 cards that Muse wants, but I might only have 100 of them that are available for trade because I might have locked the others. Interesting. Now, so the only way to properly know this is to start a trade.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the trade screen, and we'll go into this a bit more in a minute. So if you go onto you give, and it will give you a bit more of an indication on that 478 cards. So you notice the number's different here, 250. The 478 counts the number of individual items. The 250 there groups it and doesn't take into account multiples of the same card, which is a little bit of a weird thing in the system. So basically, I've got 250 different things, of which some of them I have more than one of. So there, for example, the Hulk. I've got 3 copies of that. So that's why it said 478 when I went into the...
I see. Yeah.
So I'm in the trade functionality here, but now I can say, okay, I own this many items, and then this many of them are unlocked, because I don't want to accidentally trade with this person stuff that I've got locked, unless I'm choosing to do so. So I could quite happily just tick name all just there, and you'll see that it appears down the bottom in you give. And because it's nice to give, but it's also nice to receive.
True.
I can go in here and I can say, okay, I'm not actually going to complete this trade, by the way, but I'm just going to go through the motions. I say, oh, yeah, I really need that Brad Marchand hockey purple parallel, so I'm going to click on that. Lovely. And then I click return to trade, just at the top left here, which appears when you're in trading view. The rest of the nav is exactly the same as when I was looking at my collection. So I go to return to trade, and it just says, okay, you're receiving this, you're giving this. Happy with that? What do we think, Noah? Are we happy with that?
Who isn't happy with that?
Who isn't happy with that? That looks like a blinding trade. He'd be mad not to bite my nose off. So I click submit. Are you sure you want to submit this? Now, at this point, I'm not actually going to do it because...
No, of course not.
I have a feeling, even though I know nothing about hockey cards, I have a feeling a purple parallel is probably worth more than a digital base card. I need 5 of those name walls to actually get a physical card.
Physical name war.
So I'm not going to submit that. And I could return to the trades.
Mm-hmm.
I can cancel it. Now, if I click return to trades, it goes back to my trade screen, which I haven't showed you yet, so I'll come back to that. I can click cancel. Sure, I went to cancel. Yeah, you bet you I do. So there we go. And what it will now do is it will take me back to, this is these are mini dashboards within Dashboard. This is a trading dashboard, and it shows me.
Yes.
But I'm going to go back over here because I think this is the one I want people to get used to. So my EPAC. So we've looked at my collection.
Yep.
We've looked at wish list.
Yep.
Locked items is simply that. So if I click on that, it will take me to the my collection view, but I'll already have a filter applied. Locked items just there, which is pretty cool. And I can.
I think it's really cool.
And I can then see everything. Yep. So just tick on that. Now then, I hear you cry. What's the next thing that was on the list? So we've done filtering. We've done wish list. Finding stuff to trade. So Search Trading Marketplace.
Ah, the best feature.
Now this
is the feature.
This is the rabbit hole. But effectively, when you're looking at your collection, you're just looking at exactly the same functionality as the entirety of the ePack system, but just filtered by only items I own. So when you go to Search Trading Marketplace, you can just click on the search function there. And what it will do, it's kind of, do you remember when eBay started?
Yes.
Do you remember that? Do you remember you used to be able to, I don't think they allow it now because eBay's so big it crashes the site. Probably doesn't, but you used to be able to just do a blank search and it would show you how many items were listed on eBay at that time.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that happens anymore.
I don't know if you can do that anymore. I think you just see a lot of sponsored stuff.
Yeah, exactly. This is kind of the equivalent of that. So this is everything that's in the public marketplace. So basically, it's everything that every user owns that's not locked. That's kind of it. But the rules of viewing this work in exactly the same way
as your own collection.
Navigation. Yeah. So the navigation and the working your way around it. So the product, again, it lists it in the order of release. So the most recent thing released would have been Overwatch League game dated moments. What's that?
I think it's the players who play Overwatch.
I think so. Game dated moments. I think it's something relative to like play within the last week or something like that. I mean, it's cards that they produce really quickly. I was like, oh.
They have a lot of different cards on here. They have cards
an awful lot
about dogs.
They do have cards about dogs. They have
Which is
cards
cute.
about the presidents. We won't talk about that.
See, this is why we're Marvel only.
Yeah,
because our knowledge.
If I start talking about presidential stuff, I'll start talking about the press conference that Trump did yesterday, and it'll just make me annoyed. So let's move on. So you can filter this now. If you know what you're looking for, you can go through this whole list, which is great. But of course, you'll see the whole list here. You'll notice this side of the screen is struggling to catch up because it's trying to list everything independently. But you can
it's even funnier when you have the images.
It is. You can scroll down and slower. You can scroll down this side, which is fine. I mean, you can see there's an awful lot of products that Upper Deck have put out. So what I often find is it's easier if you know where you're going. I'd scroll straight to because I know roughly where it is.
Yeah.
For example, Fleer Ultra Spider-Man, which didn't have the date in front of it as the title. But
that drives me crazy.
This is the genre part. So you can just click on
Wow. So that's as many Marvel cards as they have.
Yeah. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that there are 3.2, almost 3.3 million available to trade.
So who knows what's locked?
Yeah, exactly. So, and the fact, if you saw my collection there, I had 2/3 of the stuff that I've got locked. Now, that it's not me that I've still got a lot of my cards. I own them, but they're stored in this system. I haven't exported them to then have them shipped to me yet.
Right.
And I've kind of
they're just hanging out in a warehouse.
They're just sitting in a warehouse. And when I choose to have them shipped to me, and I can do that just by selecting specific cards or doing whole sets or just subsets or just taking whatever I want. It could be free cards, could be 3,000.
Oh, and by the way,
warehouse and get them all.
See, that's what I was going to say. Just so everybody knows, if you are an email subscriber, when we plan our coup and we're going to take over the warehouse, we will let you know through that service there.
Yep.
So everybody's aware.
So, because we know where it is, we've looked at satellite photos, we know they're on reduced staff.
We've done our preparation for this. We have a couple of people who are willing, so just let us know. We'll let you know.
We might need to rethink putting this out into public domain. FBI could be watching. Do the FBI know how to use YouTube?
I mean, it was your idea, so.
I'm in the UK, they can't touch me. Anyway, so...
we have an scapegoat.
This might be the point. This might be the appropriate moment for me to do my Michael Caine impression, because I know certain people have actually...
We've been looking for a moment for this.
We've been looking for a moment. This is kind of a really awkward segue, because there
it's a lot of pressure, though.
It is.
No, let's wait. We'll wait until the middle of the episode, and you just drop it. It'll just happen.
Yeah, I'll drop it. Yeah, much like
no pressure.
Much like a fart in a lift, I'll drop it. Anyway, so ignore the fact that it says unreleased items there. That doesn't normally... We've lost him. He's gone.
I'm here.
And now our sponsors. So unreleased items doesn't normally happen. It's relating to the slightly snafu'd release of Marvel Weekly 2020 that we're not going to talk about this episode.
Yeah, we'll hold off.
We'll hold off on that because you wouldn't normally see unreleased items and TBD unreleased items on this list. So we'll just quickly collapse that part of it.
Yeah.
So when you look on here, you've got Marvel. It basically still tries to show you them in the order that they happened. It's struggling a little bit because there's an awful lot of stuff it's trying to filter through. So once you've applied the genre thing, you can then go and you can select whatever set you want to, which is fine. So if you want to look at it that way, that's fine. Now, I know that someone who's listening has just decided to start a Elektra personal collection. So what if I just wanted to search for... I'm
not sure what went wrong.
My Amazon device, and I'm not going to say the name of it, just thought that Elektra meant Alexa. Alexa shush. There we go.
Always listening in that one.
Blowing. I should probably push the button to tell her to. There we go. Right. Bad enough she cuts in at the best of times without me recording a podcast. So you can see everything that's got the name Elektra in somewhere in the title of the card.
And this is a huge benefit to character collectors out there.
Huge benefit. And look how many Elektra cards someone's got to chase. Look at them.
Do they have pictures for all these? Could we see some pictures?
Yeah, we can. I'm just scrolling through the now. Basically, whenever you click on any of these, you can just open it up and you can see card. Or the easiest way to do it is just go back to the top. There's a handy arrow there that I didn't see. And click on grid view, and then it will just show you. Take a moment.
The loveliness of it all.
There we go. Oh,
and there we go.
Sinkovich ones.
Those are good. I never pulled one of those.
Yeah, I really need those too. Well, they're on my... You see the hearts there? So this isn't my
wish list.
Public marketplace, but these are on my wish list.
Oof.
Yeah, I
love that Marvel Flair Copper Age Elektra.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
That is Sinkovich.
So all those cards, yeah, that's beautiful. Again, these are physical, except for that one.
One, actually.
So 5 of those.
5 of those.
Makes
you that one.
And there you go.
Yeah. So you got to have 5 of those digital ones, and then you redeem them.
Right, which we showed you earlier.
Yeah, to get that one.
Yeah.
Then there's a retro parallel version of it. And so these are from Marvel ATF. So underneath you can see it tells you which set they're from. So it's different ways of looking at it. And you can scroll through.
And now this is the really cool part. This is the part that stalkers like me use all the time. So let's say we'll do the Copper Age Elektra throughout through the ages. Now, when you click on that, you'll be taken to this next screen, which will show you every user who owns one of these cards.
Yep.
Now, this is the tricky part, and here's a little insider tip for all of our friends out there. The better chance of the trade happening is if they have doubles.
Yes.
Which you will notice, you'll see a number or their name will appear twice. Like Sushi Yoshi has 2 of those, right? Unless he's redeeming something, which you can't. Unless he has a personal set or a second, or she, regardless, you can see, or you can even look at redeemed ones. Sometimes people just redeem things to collect the redemption, but don't want the full set, especially if they have doubles.
Get the achievement, yeah.
You might have a better chance of getting their redeemed card than one that's not redeemed.
Yeah.
And redeemed, right, which will hold more value. Now, the redeemed one, let's say it's just for your private collection. You're like, I'm an Elektra character. I just want this card. I'm not going to redeem anything. It's my one-off. My advice would either go for the doubles or go for one of those that have been redeemed.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably will yield you the better chance of the card being traded to you.
Yeah. I mean, it still goes. If it's redeemed and they've only got one of them, chances are they might still want that as part of their personal collection. So,
agreed.
So that's the interesting thing is you know that you reference the numbers under them, and we're not seeing numbers here. That's to do with where you started. So I'm just going to go back one to here because we were looking at it.
Yes.
On this view. So if you go back to this view. Okay, so you can no longer see a picture of the card, but we know which one we want to look at. We want to look at this one. Okay. It's interesting. It doesn't.
It usually does do it.
Yeah,
see,
you're
right.
Phone. No, it does it on a phone.
That's what it
shows
is.
You the little 2. So I think that's what it is. It shows me both of them there. But if I'm looking, certainly if I was on my phone, it would have a little 2 just in the bottom corner here to indicate that this user had 2 of them.
Right. And this might be a little extra for everybody. Ian and I have gone a little crazy with these rainbow hunts, but sometimes if you're hunting down 100 cards to make a rainbow, what I will do is I'll go to Command- on a Mac or Option- on a Mac and basically make this screen smaller so I can see more cards in one space. And then what I do is I print off a screen grab.
Yeah.
And basically you can print off that, no color, save some color, and just cross things out for people who tell you. Because you're going to get people who tell you, this is never for trade, this is my personal thing. They don't use the lock feature.
Yeah.
Or, someone doesn't get back to you in a week. What I do is I just cross them out and I put never responded.
Yeah.
Try again in a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're hunting down 100 cards to make a rare card that probably only one's going to exist. This kind of stuff can kind of help you out. It's a little bit of a shortcut for me.
The thing is, I've seen photos of you doing that, and it's like one of those things where detectives stuff on the wall and then put the pins and the strings. It's like that.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Which which clearly works for you because you've achieved 2 rainbow foils within as almost as many weeks by doing it. So hats off to you. So I'm going to commission you. You're going to be like a bounty.
Actually, I had 2 people ask me, "Ooh, okay, we can Mandalorian it up. I like this title. Actually, I'm quitting everything. That's it. I'm making a business card.
You want to be wearing metal for the next podcast? You can do.
I got to get Harry to get me a suit. I'm ready.
This is the way.
This is the way. So good.
I've still not finished watching it, by the way. I'm on episode 5, I think.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it a lot.
I will do. So, where was I? So if you wanted to find a particular card, so this is the best way to find stuff to look on your wish list. So I'm going to assume, for example, that I want to build an Electra personal collection. So what I would do is I would go down here and go, okay, I'm going to click the heart on all of these, because this is effectively building up your checklist of cards that you want to find.
Yes.
And then all you would do to kind of look at that would be to go back over here, go to my wish list, and I'm going to just do this with once it loads, I'm going to type in Black Cat. No, in fact, there it is. It's remembered it. There it comes. Okay, so you can see. In fact, I haven't looked at this for a while. Whether there's any Black Cat sketch cards from Marvel 80th that are actually showing in the marketplace. Are there any? See, I'm clicking on this. And it's not doing anything because, of course, I'm not in the trading marketplace. I'm on my own wish list, but I think it should do. Bear with.
I'm interested.
Yeah. There's so many. This is the thing. There's so many ways to navigate around this. Here we go. Right.
There it is.
So you'll see there. It's if it's like that, it means there's none available for trade in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Interesting that that's a Captain America shield.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I wonder if Pancake has one of those.
Pancake needs to get that card to complete his set. God, people tell me that and it drives me crazy because I'm like, you need that for your set. And in my head, I'm like, no, I don't. And then a day later, I'm like, oh my God, I do.
Weirdly, yeah, I see. I know there are. Let me just click on trade for this item. Here we go. So I know there are 2 of these on there. It might not have shown the image because there's more than one option to show. That might be why it's done it. So
yeah, probably so.
Rather nice cards, aren't they?
I like the Matt Murdock.
Yeah, I know.
I like that. I know you don't. You like the other one, which is funny.
Actually, to be honest with you, I mean, but I like this style, but no.
I like
the
style, but you don't like the eyelids.
I can't be doing. Yeah, no, sorry. And this one is. Yeah, it's not for me. Not for me.
I love it. No, sorry.
Yeah, souls. So that's how you add items to your wish list.
Yes.
And finding stuff to trade is pretty much the same process, because you would go through here and you'd be like, okay, I want to look for, say you decided I want to get into collecting Marvel 80th. So you go to search trading marketplace, and the first thing I would do is change it to list view, and then filter it down to the product.
Yep.
So I'm just going to do this here. Go to products. Marvel 80th is there. And you would literally work your way down and just tick hearts. So often I do that if there's a new set releasing, which can take a little bit of time to do, but trust me, it'll take a good 5 minutes for you to put a heart on every single one of the Marvel 80th set. But on the day of release, I did that. And they only start appearing in the trading marketplace once people start opening packs and they appear in the system. Now, if they lock them, they don't appear here.
People trade fast on ePack, especially when a product releases. So having your wish list prepped and ready, if they're trying to redeem something that basically they're trying to run everybody off, they're trying to get ahead of everybody to redeem something, they are using this wish list function, the people who know what they're doing, and they are looking for those people, and trades are just going to fly your way. Yeah. Trust. That's just exactly what it is. But it's fast. It happens very quickly, especially with redeemable big ticket items. Like we just had one where you could get original comic book art.
That was Marvel 80th.
And that was Marvel 80th. And basically, if you redeemed, I think it was like the whole set, right? Basically, other inserts and stuff like that, you were able to get one of these 8 or 10, Ian.
There were 10 of them.
You know what? This is a perfect segue into...
Well, let's go to achievements.
There we go.
Yeah. So if you go to this nav here, you'll see achievements there. I don't know what quest challenge is in. I have a feeling it's for non-Marvel related cards, so we're not going to go near that. So that's the interesting thing about a lot of the menus is that there's a lot of things you would just never use or touch. Certainly not that I've done. But anyway, go to achievements. And will it load?
Will it?
Master. The thing is, people will actually see the faces I make when I do these voices now, you see.
Good faces.
Now, achievements is a really, really interesting part of the site. What it will do is first of all, it will show you your most recent achievement progress, which is a handy little shortcut.
Yes.
But I'm not going to look at that. So you can just you can browse through it in the same way you would anything else. You can go and look at all the different sets. We can filter it by genre. So let's just look at Marvel, for example. Filter that. And it will the interesting thing is they appear already collapsed. You notice this isn't an open list?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be good if the rest of the site did that? Or you could select the default?
I think that would be smart.
Yeah. Anyway.
Save time on loading.
It would. Marvel 80th anniversary. So if you look here, so in Marvel 80th anniversary, there were 6 parts of the set that you could complete. And what it would do, and you can see here, so if you complete the base color spike, which is 1 to 100, you get the letter M, Marvel History Achievements. And you can view it. There it is. And I've got one of those because I completed that. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Then you get the A, which you get the High Series Retro Parallel. And you view that one. Lovely stuff. There it is. And then the R, the V, the E, and the L. Now, the first 10 people to get all 6 of those achievements, and some of them are pretty tricky, very tricky to do.
Really tricky, especially when they're short prints. So just so everybody knows, the SP that you see there, that just means short print. And that means sometimes they can be numbered, sometimes they can't. It just means that there's a lesser amount of those cards.
Yeah. And some of these, in fact, for example, one of these, which one is it? Let me read through. It's getting to this one, the R. It's 5. It says 100 cards there, but to get those 100 physical cards, you have to have 500 digital versions. Because it's 5 digital for each of the 100 cards. So
for 5 digital cards, you get 1 actual card. And there's 100 actual cards in that set.
And they're 1 a pack, those 500 digital cards. So it's a beast. So in the first 24, 36 hours after this set dropped, whenever I pulled one of those, I would get 3 or 4 offers instantly because people were racing to get these original comic art. You'll see that's grayed out because they all went.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, the first 10 collectors to redeem a complete 6-card Marvel History set, which is this. So I've got the 6-card thing, but I got it maybe 2 months after release. That's how long it took.
Like a normal person.
Serious trading. But some people went in deep. I mean, I'm talking belt buckle deep. So I'm going to show you in the trading marketplace. I have a feeling that some of those are still showing in the trading marketplace, those original comic art achievements. In fact, no, that's not relevant to this, so I'm not going to do that. But if you look, you can see what all the different achievements are for the different sets, and it will tell you what you need to get for each of them. So Marvel ATF is a good one. It's actually a relatively small set in terms of that.
Yeah.
Click on back to get rid of that. Go away. Go away. There we go.
This does bring us into our second part, though.
Beast.
Flare. Yeah.
Oof.
This does bring us into our second bit. Everyone remembered those checklists from the 90s, right? The card you would get in your pack with checklists, and you could put your check mark on it with a Sharpie if you were a horrible collector as a kid, like I was. What you can do here, using our menu item, you can actually see the checklist.
Let's do it.
And this is just relevant because if you're cross-referencing this with trying to get the achievements and everything like that, this is just a segue into it. So also, the other key thing here that a lot of people don't know is that when you go to the store and you go to buy a pack, it'll only show you what's available.
Yeah.
If you want to see the archive of all the packs that have come to ePack, you go to checklist.
And since sold out.
And since sold out, which many have, especially in the Marvel sector.
Going to Marvel. Marvelous. So an example would be, he says scrolling, would be Marvel Masterpieces 2018. So that's no longer available to purchase, but it was on there, so you can see the checklist by clicking there. And the handy thing is it's kind of a similar kind of navigation, but you don't have that left-hand pane there.
Right.
What you do is you can go through there and you can just see every card listed, and it ticks it off as to where you have.
And then you can even click the one that's ticked on it. It takes you to your collection to look at it. Also, the crazy thing
shows you all of them in the site.
Shows you everybody who has it. So if you need it, you can click on the ones that are not checked as well, right? Like, let's say if you needed...
You can do. Let's just click on that one again, because there you can see the numbers. This guy owns 15 of them. In fact,
there you go.
That's Pankit.
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 Damn, Pankit.
This guy's got 45 of them. Mike,
you know who that is.
I know exactly who that is. He's a very, very, very nice man.
Very, very nice man.
And that's Stephen
Good
Baggett.
guy.
So you know who these users are.
Damn, we know everybody on that first row.
There are, apart from... Actually,
I don't know.
No, I think I do know who that is.
You don't.
That's Brandon. Also,
Spoons.
member of Character Club. So there's a lot of people here. The interesting thing is someone... I can't remember who it was, said they found it frustrating that the avatars, that the names weren't of the actual people. And I guess it's one of those things you just get to know as you go through it. And that's the same with any forum.
Yeah. And the sucky thing is you can't change it, which you're locked into that name.
Are you sure?
Show me how, because I've been dying to change my name.
No, the reason I say is because there's a guy that I was trading with for the longest time, and his... occasionally, and his username has changed recently. It's shrunk.
Lucky.
Yeah, I don't know how. I genuinely don't know how, but I'm not going to spend time now having a look at it.
No. We don't. No.
But anyway, you can see everyone's usernames there, and you can click on these. And if you wanted to trade with that person, you just click on that little tick there for new trade. So if I decided I want to trade Spoos for his leader card from Marvel Masterpieces 2018, I would do. But he's only got one of them. So chances are I'd go for someone who's got more than one of them, like this fella. So
also, too, a really good hint, Ian does this as well, I'm sure, is that if you only see they have one of it, double check to see if they already have the full set. If they already have the full set, it's probably not on the table.
Yeah, they might
highly doubt it's on the table.
Yeah.
If they only have one and they have three others and it's not even close to being a full set, send them a trade. Like that's what I found really was helpful.
One thing we haven't shown is these are all small thumbnails. If you click just on that,
Yes,
you can see
best part.
You can turn it over. Especially useful if you're looking at serial numbers, which are there.
Trying to go to alpha or omegas.
Yeah, you can turn it as well. Just see what's there. But it's pretty cool. I like that.
Very cool.
Quite a funky little thing. Some of the images don't always are the best reflection of the actual physical card, as you can see when we did those
Not all the
things.
time.
Yeah, so which is interesting. So we've looked at the checklists. We've looked at the achievements. I want to now look at opening packs and buying packs.
Ooh.
So if I go to my dashboard, there it is. There's my dashboard. You can see here a number of things on here. And one thing that's in the top corner of the screen just there is store, which is also in that navigation there. So let's go to the store. The reason I went back to my dashboard is I'm going to do the free pack of the day. So I've saved that for this. So because it demonstrates the process of buying a pack pretty well. So let's go to store. And if you've not done the daily free e-pack thing, it's a single digital card. You can eventually, but you need quite a lot of them. I think you need 20 of each. Get a physical card from it. So it is kind of something that's free. It is something for nothing in that regard. But if I go, let me move our little, there we go. We're going to go over there. There we are. If I click on the daily free e-pack thing, you'll see that I've got a list of options. I always go for the Doctor Strange one because it's the only Marvel one that's there.
I do that or the dinosaur one.
Yeah, I've noticed dinosaurs in your collection. That's bizarre.
I like the dinosaur.
Then you open that. Now, it doesn't actually give me the multiple option there, but you'll notice with all these things is that there's a little option next to it for checklist and dice. So checklist takes you literally to the page that we were seeing just now, where you saw the checklist for that set, and the dice just pulls up a little thing. I mean, that's rubbish. It doesn't actually tell you anything. But let's look at one that's
actually. If you go to like Premiere or Shield,
let's go to this one, and it tells you the odds of pulling.
This is basically what you see on a pack or a box of cards.
It's exactly what you'd see on one of these. So on the back, it would say collect limited edition cards, and it would give you the odds. So it's legally what they have to show.
Right.
What are the odds? Because effectively, I'm not sure if it legally is. It's a type of gambling. Oh, look at this. It's from Amazing Spider-Man 94.
I think I want to buy an Amazing Spider-Man pack.
Oh, I've already got one locked and loaded, ready to go.
You're a genius.
Yes, which I shouldn't have spent on, but I did. Anyway, so let's go to my daily free pack. So I go in there, open that, and it has a little think, and it opens it. We should play the drinking game as to whether or not it'll have an image of Benedict Cumberbatch on the card. Click on open, and there it is. It moves it over there, and I can look at it, and it does have Benedict Cumberbatch on the card. Look at that. There we go.
There it is.
Marvellous. So that's
perfect.
And the interesting thing is, once you've finished opening a pack, it always prompts, because obviously this is a retail site, so they want you to buy more. So the prompt is always to buy more. So there's two places I can go. I can go to buy more, which will take me to the store. And you can go to show all new items. So this is what when I started, I was talking about the navigation. What this does, it shows you just what you've just purchased.
Which is nice, because then if you go to the gallery view, you can just kind of look at all your cards and kind of enjoy it.
Or you can lock it. Straight away.
Or you can lock it straight away.
I want that one. I need that one. I can lock it straight away. Sure. So we'll demonstrate that again in a minute. But if I'd gone to buy more,
or you can lock the whole box. Like this is the opportunity where you can like the whole thing.
Yeah. If I'd gone to the store, which is here, so someone did ask, how do I buy more than one pack at a time or more than one box? And it might seem an obvious question, but it's actually, if you don't know, you don't know. So let's just have a go. So they always have products that they're pushing at the moment at the top. There's anywhere between
featured products.
Yeah. And then it's by category. So it works in the same way as the checklists. So we go into Marvel, and again, it will display these in most recent release first that's still in stock. Okay. So let's go Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. When I click there, it will give me options. Do you want to buy a pack? Do you want to buy a box? Do you want to buy a case? And it tells you the prices. So if I go pack, defaults to 1. If I want more than 1, that's your option. You just go up and down that, which is the same on the browser, on a phone. You just click that, and you go to cart, so it goes, and there it goes. And any minute now, I'll have 5 appear there because I select 5 packs. Come on, you can do it. There we go. There it is. So I click on my cart. I'm not actually going to buy these, by the way. But it gives you another option to change what you're doing here. So if I said, 5, actually, I've changed mine, I want 7. You can change the number there and just click update. And it will change the amount. Any second now. Come on, there we go. It's changed it. And then you can go checkout. Or you can continue shopping. And it stays just like any other e-commerce site.
And then, of course, if you want to just take it out of your cart, you just hit the X.
Yeah, or clear cart.
Or clear cart.
Yeah, so if you want to do an individual item, you can do that. And it would...
if you do multiple packs from different series, you can kind of edit your cart. You're not locked in immediately, which is the thing I worried about when I first started doing this.
Yeah. I'm just going to show you something. I'm not going to buy.
Oh, I want to do it. Should I do it? You know what? Should I do it?
If you've got $300 to spare, then by all means. I haven't. I didn't have the $13.99 for the pack I just bought. So there we go. So you can see you got 2 options.
There you go.
Say, actually, I don't want to buy that. That's a bit rich. And just click on the X. What that'll do is it refresh in a moment. And
it's coming.
There you go. There we go.
Done.
And if I want to do everything gone, I just clear cart, and it would just.
And it's all cleared out.
Blank screen. I think it comes up with. I think it takes you back to the store. I know you have no items in your cart. Go to store. Well, the interesting thing is, I already have a pack that I purchased to open. So let's do that. So again, we're into this navigation here, which on a mobile browser appears on the left-hand side. So it appears over there, and I will put a screenshot of how that looks on a mobile browser onto the tasting notes. But this whole video is going to be the tasting notes for this episode, which will save a little bit of time. So my collection we looked at, locked items we looked at. It's just a filtered way to look at my collection. Wish list, badges, it's up to you. Open my packs. So there we go. So if you click on that. So I have 1 packet of Fleer Ultra Spider-Man. So we're going to do pack of the week.
I want you to get a spot plate so I can just pay you for it.
Maybe. Right. Let's do it. Open. Yeah, it's nice that people will be able to see us doing this.
It would be.
And I will actually also screen cap this. So there it goes. So I've got a metal Luke Cage.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I've got a burglar base card.
Burglar.
Ooh, I got a jambalaya.
No
that, my
way.
friend, is a red flasher. So it's nice that we can actually show people a red flasher. That's a good hit.
That's a really great hit.
Yeah. I won't be collecting it, but it'll trade. It's a jambalaya, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. And those cards,
it will actually show me the other side of it as well.
So those are the same size as a trading card, but they're very thick. They have a lot of foil on them.
They're this shape.
They're very rare. Not serial numbered, but very rare, and they have that shape. We got a red flasher, man, on video. Congrats, Ian. Nice work, man.
Look at that.
That's beautiful. Wow.
And it carries on. See, I never see this on because I always open them on my phone. So I never see that it carries on red flashing over there. Oh my goodness, that's sexy.
On St. Patrick's Day, it was green flashing, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. I won't get another hit this pack because
that was the hit.
Wowzers! Look at that.
But you got good stuff, man. A metal, an origin, and 2 base, and the jambalaya. That's really great, man.
Hang on, I've done a snipping thing.
Oh,
it's not flashing while I've done it. So let me just do that again.
Nice.
Let me just do that again.
Oh.
Wait till it's flashing.
Wait for it.
There we go.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go. Perfect. That'll be in the tasty notes. Quickly save that. Let's just come to the desktop.
The excitement.
I know. Pack of the week. This will be up 41. There we go. I'll come back to that later.
You get behind the scenes in this episode.
Exciting. There we go. Now, Oh, look at it flashing away. So show all new items. Now, the beauty of this is that when you do that, it kind of just shows you what you just pulled. And if it was on your wish list, that would be hearted. That would be like on your wish list there. So if you just say I wanted that burglar and it was red, I could tick it to take it off my wish list because I've now got that card.
Right.
And if I needed it, then I could now lock it so that no one else could then trade me for it. Now, this is the thing, and this is the big thing about APACs. I do this in this way, and a lot of people do this in this way, is that if it's something that I want to keep, I lock it. The thing that you need to be aware about APACs is a hell of a lot of people don't do that. I wish it would be the etiquette to, if you need it, lock it or transfer it off, put it, get it shipped to you. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't. A lot of people use their accounts as kind of showcases. So they'll have stuff there and they will just literally just leave it on display and not respond at all to trades and not reply to messages and things like that. And they just do that because it's there, and a lot of people choose to store their collections on this platform. I guess they
don't
know,
ship them. Yeah.
But they know at some point that they could if they wanted to get those cards.
They're just happy to have them there.
Warehouse. But yeah, and I imagine possibly because they're in the military and they're all traveling around, or maybe they live in
countless amount of reasons why,
whatever it is.
But which is a good thing. I mean, it's in a safe space until we rob the warehouse.
Yeah, we're going to rob the warehouse. So anyone who does that, your time.
Yeah, we're sorry, but not sorry.
Yeah, sorry, not sorry. Anyway, so I got a gem. I got jambalaya.
Man, I can't believe you got a jambalaya. What a beast.
So yeah, it's kind of that's kind of a shiny fabric. It's a square. There's different checkerboard squares.
It's really cool.
It's quite shiny. I've actually got black cat one here. So you know what? Let me just
do a video alongside of this one to show you the shine.
Oh, yes, I'll do that as a separate thing for you. So let me just quickly find.
Put it over there.
Because I've got
Spider-Man and Scorpion in that one too, man. Yeah. It's a great piece.
People like that. I'm not. Personally, it's not for me. Here it comes. People dig them. They come from the sports side of the hobby.
Yeah, and that started in Fleer 2013.
So it's kind of fabric-y. I'll just hold it up to you there. You can just see the shine.
It is fabricated in a way, right? It feels a little textured. It's shiny.
Like a plastic fabric. It's the weirdest way to say it.
How thick is that? Is that thicker than a 35 point?
It's probably about 50, I'd say. Maybe a bit thinner. Somewhere in between.
Yeah. It's nice. Same size as a trading card, but they look like they're massive.
Yeah, they've just rounded off the corners.
Yeah. It looks like a massive card, though. I'm always surprised at that. I always feel like the card's like huge, but...
Yeah, I'll do a little video of that separate, so we'll see.
That black cat is great, too, and from the same series. So perfect.
It is nice. So I've got that. We'll put that away very carefully. There we go. Bye, Felicia. See ya. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. There you go. There's my Michael Caine.
I told you it was good, everybody. Yeah. Did you catch it? It was great.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's funny.
Don't throw bloody spears at me.
So good. It's just good. I'm a guy who can't do impressions, so I'm always impressed by impressions. That's great.
Oh, dear. I'm sure there's Zulus, thousands of them. Right. Let's move on. Now.
Oh, the big one. You have the segue. You go. I was going to say ship it, right? We bought a pack. You have a card you want.
Yes.
We talked about trading. Maybe it's time to think about taking them home.
Well, I was going to show you this. Now, the interesting thing about this is that I mean, Kevin said that he had the issue he had was navigation, was scrolling through all the stuff that he's got. And I know a lot of people don't like doing that. Even if it's locked, you still have this to wade through. And you can still, I've got 2,483 locked items there. Now, if I decided, if it's a physical card, so you'll see this in the attributes, transferable items, obviously you can't move those digital items into your transfer cart to then have them shipped to you because they're
digital.
But some of these sketches I know I want to transfer, so I might as well put them in my transfer cart. So you see this one here, this cool as heck one. So when you go, so I've gone to this, I've gone to sketches, And all 7 of them are transferable, so they show up as that as well. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. I can click on this top icon here, which is transfer. So if I do that, what happens is it will completely disappear from all of this navigation forevermore. And it will go up there. You see there, it's actually, this screen will now refresh, and that cool as heck row will now no longer show because I don't have that card. And it kind of goes into a limbo space up here. And this is your transfer cart. So it's next to your shopping cart, but this is kind of, your shopping cart is goods coming in. Transfer cart is goods going out, effectively.
Beautiful. I love that.
So if you go to your transfer cart, now the frustrating thing about the transfer cart is that it is the same functionality as a shopping cart would use, but because of that, it doesn't have any of that fancy navigation. So if you've added something to it, you'll see I've already got 677 items in there because I've got my entire Marvel 80th set in here because I didn't want to be wading through it all the time. If I wanted to look at the card I just put in there, I have to scroll and have it keep refreshing and keep refreshing and keep refreshing until I get to the bottom. I wish there was a list.
You had so much stuff in your transfer.
Yeah. Well, I've kind of moved it because I was like, that set's complete. I'd put it on my transfer card.
That's smart.
Now, it's not going anywhere yet because at the top there were options for what I could do with it.
Right, which we'll come back to.
We'll come back to. So all this stuff is here and it's ready for me to choose what I want to do with it. So basically I've put it in a holding space, which we will call, for the purposes of this podcast, limbo.
Limbo, card limbo.
For those who are not watching this, I'm still scrolling to the bottom of my transfer cart, and I will get there sooner or later. There's loads of stuff.
What's really nice about watching is that you basically, look at that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the card I just put in there. But interestingly, it doesn't appear right at the bottom.
No, it doesn't. It appears in the sketch
right at the bottom. Yeah.
part of it.
So it's there.
Yeah.
So say, for example, I decided, actually, I don't want to put that there. Click on the cross there, remove it from your transfer cart, and it goes back. See that animate? It went back into my collection.
Perfect.
So it's now gone back into e-packs. So in this limbo, if I go all the way to the top, I can have them shipped straight to me from the e-packs site, which I'm on, or I can move it to ComC, which is a different company, a different website, but they are interconnected. And here's a little secret and a tip. All of these physical cards exist, and the warehouse that does fulfillment for them, whether I ship them from e-packs and do that transaction with Upper Deck, or whether I move them to a different company, which is ComC, and do that shipping transaction with ComC, it's exactly the same warehouse. They're in the same space. So basically, ComC are a separate company who've partnered with Upper Deck, and they do all of that fulfillment from that same warehouse. I could clear the cart if I wanted to, and all that would go back in, but it actually takes quite a lot of clicking to get that in there, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So I kind of, on my list of things here, the only last thing I'm going to do is how to find and add friends, which someone asked, and then notifications. So if you want to find someone and add them as your friend, and you know their username, go down to community here. There's a number of places here. You see you've got blocked lists, friends list, entertainment forum, sports forum, message center. That's where you get your PMs. Community dashboard, I kind of don't understand why that's showing there. But if you go to community dashboard, it literally just takes you to a dashboard giving you those options. So you've got that. Unfortunately, from time to time, people do get a bit annoying. And much like on eBay and other systems, you can choose to block certain users if for some or other reason you've had a falling out. So you can put them there, and that's where you can go to see them and do them. Fortunately, I've got a lot more people on my friends list, which is a happy face. And these are people that I've traded with or may trade with repeatedly, or people who are in the group, and I know them. For example, you're on here, sir.
I am.
There you go.
You know, it's funny. You have one more blocked person than me, but we basically have the same amount of blocked people.
Once we're not recording, I'll show you.
Once we're not recording, we'll see who the blocked people are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but there I am.
Yeah.
Which I want to change my...
Yeah, we'll see if we can figure out how to do that. Anyway, you can either remove them or block them, which, of course, neither of which I'm ever going to do to you. But this is the bit where people never understand. How do I search for a user? And it's in the friends list. So you go to community, friends list, and you have to know their name.
Proper spelling.
Here, it has to be absolutely perfect. So you can see there, this fella, Daniel Allers, I think his name, Alessync23. So I've searched for him before. You have to put it in exactly. It doesn't have to be case sensitive because it displays them all as capitals there, whether it's not. So if I search, I will find that user. If that username doesn't exist, so I'd clearly typed it in incorrectly at some point. I've done 23 and it's actually 33. So there we go. That's what happens. So let's find that guy I almost traded with earlier. His username is simply Muse.
Oh, that's nice and easy.
There you go. There he is. And if I wanted to add him as a friend, I click Add Friend. And then where I was just now, over here, is now where I find my list of friends. And he will be listed alphabetically if I add him as a friend.
Perfect.
They don't get a notification or anything like that you've added them as a friend. It's purely for your own.
Basically, you're keeping track of people that traded well with you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the thing is with this list, because of the fact that you might not know that that's Steve Stevenson, for example, just going back to the Stevism. There's a religion we practice in this podcast, Stevism. So, Steve Stevenson here, aka Muse, I might know him as Steve from Facebook that I've traded, but I might not remember that's his name. Unfortunately, there's nowhere around that. You've just got to make it.
No, we have on our group page on Facebook a massive list, a members list, where people kindly has put their EPAC name next to their actual Facebook name. That way we have kind of like a master list of people, which has been really handy.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you can't do that through the site. And the worst thing, too, is you can't look at all the users on the site as well. You have to type in a name to see.
That's right. You can't just browse a list of users. So
can't just browse.
There's no way to know how many users there are, and indeed how many of them. These little dots here. I was going to say green. They indicate how recently the person has logged on. Now, I'm partially colorblind, so I actually can rarely tell the difference between those colors. I think that's one thing I wish they'd make a little bit better and bigger.
Oh, that would be better. Yeah.
Because they could say all they could do is put something here next to their name saying last log on.
I would think so, man. Or currently online, live, something.
So that's something that's because you can send trades to people and you wonder why they don't respond. And it turns out the color of the dot indicates they last logged on 2 years ago, for whatever reason. Yeah.
So what's the key for that? Because I always forget.
Someone did send it to me, and I believe, if you go up here, there is, if you go to account.
Oh, account. It's on helpful tutorials or something. That's right. That's where I saw it.
Actually, no, it's not there. It is. Where is it? If you click on your avatar there, it's there.
There you go.
Change avatar. So this is where you can do a lot of that stuff. So this is where I think you can change your username. Let's have a look.
I'm going to try. Off camera.
No, it doesn't have that. It shows my email address, which is... I might have to blur that bit out. Change password, order history, transfer history, change avatar. Oh, it doesn't actually tell me settings. Anyway, I'm going to go into settings because it answers the last thing that's on here, and then we'll kind of start circling for landing. So what you can do here, which I really, really like, is you can choose, and I can't remember if this is set default to off or on, so forgive me, folks, but I find that it's helpful if you get an email, if you get a trade, because otherwise I won't know unless I log on. So that's the one thing you can do for someone who hasn't logged on for a while, is if you send them a trade and they get an email, they might choose to log on. However, there's no option here for getting an email when someone sends you a message. So if you don't log on and someone sends you a message to find out, oh, by the way, I saw this card, would you like to trade it? You won't know. So messages, this little bubble just up here in the top right that looks like speech bubbles, it's also in the navigation under community message center. So when you go in here, you will find, when it loads, messages. You see all the people I've had messages with. And it's quite bizarre. It's quite bizarre. When you click in here, you can see it takes a while to load, and it is a little bit cumbersome. So there, I've just sent a message to someone just thanking them for a trade.
I did the same.
They didn't need to, but I just once the trade's done.
It's nice. I think it's nice.
I just think it's good to do. You know, and there's people
I think
I've
so.
chatted with, and there's people who've sent us podcast messages on here. You know, Riddles in the Dark, John.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy. So he's getting into e-packs. So there you go. That's kind of it for now. I did have on my list to talk about trading etiquette, but I think we should save that for part 3.
Yes. I agree.
And I want to talk about functionality wish list, so things you would like to be able to do on the site. And I've got some really good suggestions from people already.
I really
to
love
talk
that.
about for that. So we'll go on to that. I hope this has been of use for people. I think it is a big system. It is a bewildering system. But once you sussed, I can't stress enough, this menu, and in particular the navigation that you get on the left-hand side here. So a combination of that plus these 2 views to show you either lockability, wish list adding or taking off, and most importantly, and this is the one that people always miss because it's not user intuitive, is who's after that card that you own. Once you get your head around that, you can start building this thing.
You can really start getting into it.
Yeah, you can start getting into it. So
there was something I did want to say.
Hit me, Daddy-O.
If you go ahead and click on Upper Deck ePack, the icon in the left-hand corner, you're going to be taken to the homepage where we started the video.
Yep.
If you scroll down, there are 2 things here. Tutorials, in case you forget anything, also demo videos, and then you also have the FAQ. Now, in those sections there, this is where you can basically review what we've talked about. There's no video tutorials for some of this stuff, but these are really nice troubleshooting things. I think also in one of those 2 spaces, you can see what those icons mean in terms of the green, red, and gray.
Yeah, it's here somewhere.
It's somewhere, but I mean, we'll find it eventually. But in case you forget anything, in case you have any real questions, this space here was really helpful for me when I first started.
Yeah.
Some of it's a little hard to debunk. There really should be videos. It should be a little more streamlined, but we'll get into that. But I just wanted to let everybody know those are the places where you can kind of double check just in case there's something we didn't cover. Or you can just send us a PM or contact us or leave a comment below on this video, and we're happy to get back to you.
If there's stuff that you want, or you can email us, the mccpod@gmail.com, or reach out to us via Twitter, Instagram, at the MCC Pod, or you can find us on Facebook, the MCC Pod, I think. I think that's us everywhere. Before we go,
sure.
Let's talk about our intro artist this week, because he's been kept hanging on. Juan Méndez. Juan, thank you for sending that intro in. I'm very tempted to play it again. In fact, I'm going to play it again.
Ooh.
Hi, this is Juan Méndez, and you're listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast.
And you know what? He also did it in Spanish. Let's listen to that.
Hola, soy Juan Méndez y estás escuchando the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast.
Brilliant. I love it.
Beautiful.
I love it when people do multiple language ones. It just
Oh yeah, me too. I get such a kick out of that.
Yeah. I saw his work on Marvel 80th, and that's his first Marvel card set. So I thought it'd be really cool just to check him out. So you can find him on Instagram at Juan B4RB4 Roja. I will put the link for that on the tasting notes, and we'll put that on the video as video notes as well. But you can see him there on Instagram. He's got some brilliant stuff. I can only describe his style as very it kind of reminds me a little bit of Tim Burton.
Yes.
And so we'll look at his Marvel stuff, and then we'll have a look through some of the other stuff. So he's done Marvel 80th, and I just love the style.
I love that Doctor Strange so much.
We can look at some of his cards here. Here we go. Look at this. Look at Daredevil.
That's just clever.
Is he listening to the wall with a glass?
Yeah, because he's blind. So echolocation
but he
type of
doesn't
thing.
need the glass. That's
right.
I love that sense of humor.
That's really cute.
For approvals, actually.
Yeah, I love that one. That's so crazy creepy. I love that.
So good. The one I really like is coming. Black Cat. Check her out.
It's one of my favorites.
Slinky.
So cool.
Captain America.
Sick.
It's on the Rob Liefeld spectrum.
Yeah. Nice.
Look at that Red Skull. That's
So
the stuff
menacing.
of nightmares right there.
I love it. Bucky.
Look at it. Look at
That's
that outfit.
classic.
We've all got an outfit like that in our closet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have multiples.
Yeah. Bucky again, I think.
Yeah. I love that one. That's actually really cool.
That's my favourite, the Morbius.
Yeah.
Isn't that brilliant? I love it.
So creepy and perfect.
So cool.
Awesome.
So those he's only got one post with his Marvel. In fact, let's have a look and see if he's on. This would be a good test. Let's see if we can see any of his cards on the trading marketplace.
Smart.
Juan. Let me type that in and just search. And if that's how he's... The interesting thing is they don't always list artists with... Oh, there's loads. Let me go to this view. They don't always list artists in the same... No, they haven't got his stuff there. Let me look at...
We can go to Marvel 80th and go to
Yeah,
sketches.
Yeah, we can. Let's do that. Clear filters. This is a good test of functionality, this is.
This is a good test. Yeah, some sketch artists do change their names. Sometimes they put their Instagram handle.
Yeah.
So that can get a little tricky. But
Yep.
our advice is to always look at the set and just look at all the sketches that are there.
Yeah.
That way you can kind of see a range of people's work as well. And then if you do like somebody, of course, Google is your next option.
Well, Marvel 80 did something different as well, of course, is that they did actually character group.
Yeah.
So they're not listed by artist unless it's the 3.5 by 5.
Right.
cards.
So if you go to attributes and put sketches and you go to the gallery view, we can see all the sketches that came out for. If you want to, you do it a little bit differently than I do.
Let's just see. Is he there? No, he's not there. What else? Was else?
Oh, the black cat. So you want to check up there?
No, that's not there because we saw that earlier on when I was looking.
We did. Who else you had? Bucky?
Tell you what. Yeah, Bucky. So I'm going to Golden Age. I need to go to Golden Age. Let me just unclick that. Insert. Golden Age. Come on, baby, you can do it.
You got this,
Bucky.
There's 14. Good chance. Damn. I guess people took him home with them.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, either that or there's not been pulled. Let me just go out of that and I'm just going to go to sketch. I'm just going to look at the 3.5 by 5 because those ones are by artist. What I'm doing, I can't drive. Help me. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. All right, there we go. Do. Come on. There we go. Now this is ordered by artist. He's not showing up.
Joey Lee.
Yeah.
That's great. Paul Hill.
Yeah, some great Paul Hill.
Sean Fornery, yeah.
Yeah, there's some great artists on here. But none of your stuff is immediately viewable by us.
Must not have been pulled yet, or people took it home, baby.
People took it home, yeah, exactly. So anyway, I love some of his stuff. There's one on here that I found hilarious and terrifying at the same time. But you can go and peruse this. I mean, this is right up your alley, this kind of thing. Look at that.
Yeah, it's all this stuff I love.
Oh, I love that. Isn't it superb? I love it.
I love the collarbone. It's so cool.
Where is it?
Playing with a shadow, showing bones.
Yeah,
I love that.
The progress stuff I love as well.
I love progress stuff.
There's one down here. That
so pretty.
just made me laugh. There's someone in a hammock. Look at that.
The Superman is awesome.
In a hammock. Where is it? What did
you passed it. There it is.
Oh. That's cool. That's nice. Cool. That's a sketch cover he's done for Uncanny Avengers. So this is the point where you really will need the that's a bit risque.
Risque.
Hello, dear. Let's go off that. Right, it's time to put the children to bed, and then we can look at that. One thing I wanted to say. Where is it? There's one down here. I really wanted to. I saw it earlier on before we started recording.
So much good stuff.
I know. There's so much good stuff. There we go.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I thought it was Spider-Girl when I first saw it, but it's not. But it could.
Oh no. I love the pug in there too.
Oh, I didn't spot that before. That's hilarious. Anyway,
it's cute.
Juan, thank you very much, sir, for being that. Apologies. I did lose his. I sent him a reminder saying, "Oh, did you send it yet?" And he's like, "Yeah, I sent it to you back in January." And I was like, "Oh, I forgot it. It was in my email." So, apologies for that. Thank you, folks. Stay safe. Stay well. I hope this has been useful for you. We will do a part 3, and hopefully this will help you. And part 3, we're going to talk about trading etiquette. and wish list items that we got. But if there's anything that you think we missed, drop us a note and we'll try and cover it. Until next time,
enjoy collecting, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Marvel Card Collectors Podcast. You can subscribe via our home on anchor.fm/MCCP. Leave us a message via that link with questions, comments, or just to say hi, and we may even play on the show. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, and all major podcast platforms. Our podcast is at the MCC Pod on Facebook and Twitter, and you can find links on our Facebook page to the two groups MCCW, Marvel Card Collectors Worldwide, and MMC, Marvel Masterpieces Collectors. On Instagram, find us at MM Collectors and at Sketch Card Hive. The great music we use is called Rocket Power by Kevin MacLeod. Thanks to the collectors, artists, and creators who support the Marvel Cards Fan Collective. We'll see you next time, and remember, it's a small hobby but a fun one. Make mine Marvel and enjoy collecting.